it do, J Boogie Crew? It's your boy J Boogie back with another video for you tonight. And gonna react to another emirichu video. I said it right. I think I said it right, bro. Let's freaking go, bro. Did it. But finna react to another emirichu video. 12 more 12 cafes. Then I'm gonna react to 12 more cafes because it's pretty long videos. If I could put them all together, it's gonna be super long. So I'm cutting them up. One part, two parts, and yeah, you get it. But if I'm gonna jump into this reaction, I ain't gonna lie, emirichu is super funny, bro. Her animations, love her animations as well. It makes the story a lot more funnier, bro. It makes this a lot funnier. But also I love it when Didus and Sea Dog is super funny, bro, and almost dang they're relatable to certain categories that they talk about. And also Anime Man, the GOAT of anime, and manga as well. And it's like all of them are super fun. I enjoy watching their videos, man. And if y'all got any other videos of them you want me to react to, drop it down in the comment section below. But I'm gonna jump into this 12 anime cafes, and I always wanted to experience that. See, as a big anime fan, I want to experience some anime cafes, But before I begin, you already know what to do, J Boogie Crew. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Comment down below. Like I said, if you got any of the videos you want me to react to, drop them down in the comment section below. And go ahead and share this video. Let's get to it.
I love cafes. There's nothing comfier than sitting inside a cafe during a rainy afternoon, sipping on a hot latte while drawing, and listening to either your music of choice or the acoustic jazz song covers playing inside. I also really love themed cafes, and today I'm going to show you 12 different anime-themed cafes that I had the pleasure of dining at and what my thoughts and personal ratings are on each of them. And before anyone asks, no, there are no maid cafes in this list. I'm gonna save that one for another time. The first type of cafe we're going to explore are the pop-up walk-up cafes. Pop-up cafes are the most common type you'll see when it comes to anime collaborations. They're there for a limited time at a specific location, and they usually have a menu that's themed around the show or game that they're promoting.
Dang.
All collaboration cafes usually have merch that's exclusive to the cafe. Pop-up walk-up cafes are the easiest to get to because there's no reservation needed, so you just show up,
so this is
order,
only in
and
Japan?
Enjoy. The first themed cafe I ever went to was actually an Arena Tanamura pop-up cafe at Tokyo Skytree. Arena Tanamura is the mangaka behind titles like Full Moon no Sagashite, Gentleman's Alliance, and Kamikaze Kaito Jin. And she was one of my biggest art inspirations when I was growing up. So of course, I was super excited to go to a cafe that was themed after her work. I ended up going with two other friends who also enjoyed Arena Tanamura when they were younger.
That's what's up.
The first thing I noticed was that there wasn't a whole lot of room to sit. They have a few plastic tables and chairs, but aside from the large window decorations, the vibe is very eat your food and get the hell out. Luckily, there wasn't any wait, so we were able to grab a table right after ordering. The other thing I noticed was, wow, this menu is kind of expensive. As the video continues, you might notice that this is kind of a constant with themed cafes. I will not be judging any of them based on price because, spoiler alert, they are all expensive. I decided to order the curry ama rice, which was made to resemble takto, and a berry soda themed after Miroko. Also a latte with Mitsuki's image. The whole full moon gang's here. The food was served on paper plates and plastic cups, and the presentation was lacking. But like I said, the vibe of this particular cafe space was eat your food and get the hell out. And honestly, I was still super excited to be there. To be honest, the curry rice was not great. It's one of those things where you're like, I can definitely make this better at home. However, the berry soda was actually pretty good. Not too sweet and super refreshing. One of my friends also ordered a strawberry parfait that looked super cute, but I didn't try it, so I have no idea how it was. I ended up spending the time bonding with my new friends over our mutual love for shoujo anime and reminiscing on all our favorite Arena Tanamura memories. So, as mediocre and pricey as the food was, I still had a good time. This pop-up cafe gets a 2.5 out of 5 for me. The second pop-up cafe I went to was the Fruits Basket Cafe at the Princess Cafe space in Akihabara. Compared to the first cafe I went to,
they got a fruits
way
basket?
different atmosphere. Wow. For starters, there was ample seating, and even though it was a Saturday, there was zero wait time.
They
There was
played this
chibi
shit anime
art of
too?
all the characters on the walls and tables, and the TV was playing recap scenes from the show with a gorgeous soundtrack playing in the background. My friend Daru ordered the somen and citrus kyo soda, and I ordered a katsudon, a blueberry yuki soda,
That
a
low-key do
toru
look good.
strawberry milk, and a
That actually
latte
does
with
look good.
pizza printed on it. I'm not really a big fan of desserts, but we also ordered the pancakes to share. To be honest,
I'm trying to make those
I wasn't
pancakes,
a huge
y'all.
fan of the strawberry milk, but the berry soda and latte were really good. I was also really surprised at how tasty the katsudon was too.
That does
And
look good, bro.
actually, I was so overwhelmed by how happy I felt in the moment, I burst into tears as soon as I took a bite of the katsudon. I was incredibly embarrassed because Daru was a very new friend, but she was really nice about it, and she was like, "Don't worry, I also fangirl over things like this." Presentation-wise, everything was pretty cute with the little wafer paper characters, and I was glad I was able to eat on actual dishware and glasses this time. Afterwards, we of course had to get some merchandise from the goods section, and I ended up getting a bunch of small acrylic charm blind bags and these adorable acrylic stands. There was also a little book where you could sign a thank you message to Miss Takaya herself, who had actually attended the day before we did and drew a doodle in the book. It honestly felt kind of surreal, and I walked away from this cafe experience extremely happy. So this pop-up gets a 5 out of 5. For the third pop-up cafe, we're going back to the first cafe space at Tokyo Skytree, and this one was honestly a nightmare. So, a little word of advice, if you choose to visit any sort of event in Japan and you have the option to, do not go during the weekend. And
Shoot, that's out here in
especially
America
not
too.
on a Sunday. I may have gotten really
Well,
lucky
don't
with
come
the
on a
Fruit
Saturday.
Basket Cafe, but this time around, I would not be as fortunate. So initially, I was actually super excited about this one because this time it was a Nichijou collaboration cafe. And Nichijou is one of my favorite anime, so of course I had to go.
Nichijou.
And
Bro,
I
this
had
anime is
actually
funny,
stayed
bro.
up to make sure I didn't miss the opening time because as luck would have it, it was the only day I could go because it was the day before I had to fly to California for VidCon. I figured, Nichijou isn't a super brand new anime or anything, and it's a walk-up cafe, so surely it won't be that busy. Wrong! Imagine my surprise when my sleep-deprived ass strolls up at 11 a.m. to see a huge swarm of people, all wanting to get into the Nichijou cafe, to the point where they had to hand out numbered slips, and I was like, okay, yeah, I don't mind waiting like an hour or two.
19時に戻ってきてください。
Honto? So I took a taxi home, took a nap, went back at 7 p.m., and the food was not good. I'm not gonna get into
Dang.
detail on the things I ordered because nothing really stood out. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Sakamoto burger looked adorable, but if we're looking past the wafer decorations, what we have here is very overpriced, very mediocre food. And of course, since this is the same place that had the Arena Tanamura pop-up, it was served in the usual paper plates and plastic cups. But of course, I was sort of expecting this. So, at the end of the day, I'm not waiting 8 hours for spectacular food. I'm waiting 8 hours for Nichijou, and that's what I got. So, I had no regrets. 1 out of 5. Now, the second type of cafe I'm going to introduce is the pop-up reservation cafe.
Sailor
Similarly to the
Moon.
previous ones,
I
these
still
are
never seen
also
Sailor
only
Moon.
for a limited time, but rather than just showing up, you actually need to make a reservation beforehand, usually through the cafe venue's website. If the anime is new and or very popular, you'll likely have to make a reservation, like if it's a Spy Family collaboration or a Chikawa collaboration. The menu is still a bit pricey, but you can expect to see a higher quality in both presentation and taste. The first reservation cafe I went to with Daru was the Mofusan Cafe at the Box Cafe in Space in Shinjuku. Mofusan is a series of some of the cutest, chubbiest little kitties you've ever seen, drawn by an illustrator who goes by the name Juno. You might have even seen some of these cute cat illustrations on either Twitter or Instagram. So, technically not an anime, but it was so stinking cute, we had to go. The atmosphere was cute and pretty simple, with illustrations of the cats covering the walls and this giant shark cat plush. I ordered a burger, a sparkling lime soda, a cafe latte, and a cat ice cream parfait. Daru ordered the fried shrimp sandwich and a taiyaki dessert made to look like a cat's head was stuck in it. The food was all so adorable. We genuinely had
Ain't a lot of ice
trouble
cream looking
starting
good,
because
but
we
I already
didn't
know
wanna
it'll tear
ruin
my
it.
stomach up.
And surprisingly, it was actually really, really tasty.
Oh, that burger
I
look good.
completely annihilated my plate because I was enjoying it
Dang,
so
you
much.
might as well lick the
Everything
plate,
on
bro.
that plate was delicious. The burger, the salad, the potatoes, the drinks were also really good, and the parfait was pretty good, but I couldn't finish it because, like I said, not a big fan of desserts. But luckily for me, Daru is, so she happily took it off my hands. Afterwards, we took a look at all the cute merchandise in the merch corner and talked ourselves out of buying everything in sight. Overall, it was a really fun time, and my tummy was very happy. 5 out of 5. The second reservation cafe I went to with Daru is the Sailor Moon Cafe, located in the Sailor Moon Museum in Roppongi. This museum is here until the end of the year, so if you find yourself in Japan within the next 3 months and you're a big Sailor Moon fan, I definitely recommend checking this exhibit out. Now, you don't necessarily need a reservation for the cafe, but you do need to book a ticket reservation for the museum that it's in. So I'm counting it in the category of pop-up reservation cafes. The exhibit is really pretty, and Daru was losing her mind from happiness every step of the way, so it was her turn to be the teary-eyed fangirl. It was a Sunday, which we all know is a very busy day, so we ended up waiting around an hour to get a table at the cafe. The food was, of course, very cute and actually pretty good. I ordered the slider plate. One had shrimp and egg, and the other had tuna and pesto. It came with pickled veggies and a side salad with what I think was blue gelatinized salad dressing, and also a side of potato puree that was dyed pink. Interesting color choices, but they tasted good, so I'm not gonna knock it. I also ordered a white peach soda float, which had star-shaped jellies at the bottom. It tasted sweet and refreshing, and I actually really liked it because it wasn't sickly sweet. And of course, I needed a second drink, so I ordered an iced latte with some text from the manga printed on top. Daru got the moon-shaped omurice, which included a silhouette of Sailor Moon made out of sugar. I don't really agree with the choice of having sugar next to omurice, but she seemed to enjoy it, so again, not gonna knock it. For dessert, we shared the Cosmic Heart Compact dessert plate, which had a strawberry mousse topped off with a sugar cookie. The mousse was pretty good, but I was pretty sugared out from the float, so like always, I had to get Daru to clean up the rest of it. If I had to rate the cafe without taking the exhibit into account, I think I'd have to give it a 4.5 out of 5.
Man, that wait time's painful though.
Watching this video have either completely checked out at this point, or they're asking, okay, we see all these girly cutesy cafes you're going to, but where's the cafe for me and my shonen brethren? So I present to you the Jujutsu Kaisen Cafe. Yeah, it's basically the same thing. So this is one I managed to get a reservation for. It was a bit of a hassle. I had to make an account on the site, pick a reservation time, pay the booking fee at the nearby Lawson.
Never mind,
all
bro.
to have some of the most mediocre food I've ever eaten. The atmosphere was fine. I wasn't a huge fan of the plastic screen thing they had because it made sharing food difficult, but we did get some free file folders and, of course, free coasters with every drink purchase. I ordered a panda breakfast sandwich thing, and I'm gonna be honest, it sucked. The egg was nice and gooey, but aside from that, it tasted abysmal. Didus's meal was, I think, slightly better, but he wasn't really all that into it either.
It looks
fine,
good.
Nothing to write home about, but they were fine.
Drinks looks nice.
Now, the real highlight of this cafe, if you could believe it, was the dessert. The dessert was actually really freaking good. The cake was nice and fluffy, the cream was light and tasty, especially with the fruits and tart sauce, and there was even some strawberry jam and vanilla ice cream in the middle of the cake.
Oh,
This was probably one of the best desserts
dang, that
I've
look
eaten
good,
at
but
any
it'll
of the
tear my
cafes.
stomach up.
So, as you can probably tell, these cafe menus can be hit or miss depending on what you order. You just have to hope and pray you won the menu RNG and picked the tastiest items. In this case, I think I picked the worst possible meal choice, but arguably the best dessert option. There was, of course, a merch section in the store, but I wasn't really interested in anything. Jujutsu Kaisen Cafe gets a 2.5 out of 5 for me. The only thing that earned points was the very tasty dessert. Now that you've heard about pop-up cafes, let's talk about permanent walk-up cafes. These cafes are, like the name suggests, permanent, and you go any time of the year because they're not going anywhere. There's not a whole lot of these, and the only ones I could find that didn't require a reservation were dedicated character cafes. First one in this category is the Cinema Roll Cafe in Shinjuku. I was interested in this one because they were doing a limited time collaboration with Hatsune Miku. It was a Monday, and nobody was available that day to go with me, so I went on a date with myself. I thought I was being smart by going at opening time on a Monday morning.
Ain't nothing wrong
but of
going on
course,
a date
since
by
it's a
yourself.
collaboration with Queen Miku, there was already a huge line when I got there. I ended up waiting 2 hours to finally get seated, and during that time, I decided I would order 2 things from the Miku collab menu and 2 things from the regular cinema roll menu.
Ain't no way.
I ordered the tropical mango soda, which was really freaking good. It was like a club soda mixed with fruit puree, so it wasn't too sweet at all. And at this point, I realized I had a thing for bubbly, fruity soda water. Unfortunately, the green yasai juice I ordered off the Miku menu was not as good. Honestly, it was kind of gross. It was like a cup of vegetable juice, which by itself was not bad, but it had a thick layer of Cool Whip on top, and I was really not into it. I could only drink half. Also from the Miku menu was the green onion and tuna pasta. The flavor was intense, but it was pretty good. Was it $10 good? I mean, presentation-wise, it was just pasta with a little paper image of Miku and cinnamon roll on a toothpick stuck into it. On the other hand, the presentation of the cinema roll omurice is one of the cutest edible things I have ever seen.
It does
look
look.
How cute he is.
It does
little
look.
Baby boy sleeping in his egg
cute.
blanket. I do have to say though, it looks a lot cuter than it tastes.
Where's the flavor? Where's the flavor in this?
I'm sneaking in my seasoning, bro.
The egg tasted unseasoned, but also, to be fair, I ate this immediately after eating a tuna and green onion pasta, so I think anything would taste bland after that combination. I ended up not ordering any dessert because I was just about ready to explode after this, and I didn't have anyone with me this time who could help me eat it. Next time I go, I definitely want to bring a friend with me because it was kind of lonely waiting and eating by myself. The atmosphere was surprisingly really plain for a permanent cafe, and it was pretty small on the inside. There was a merch section for the Miku collab, but since I didn't have much interest in Cinema Roll, I picked up stuff for Mouse instead. I give Cinema Roll Cafe a 3 out of 5. The next permanent walk-up cafe is also a Sanrio character cafe, but this time for my personal favorite, Pom Pom Puddin'. First off, I'm not biased or anything, but this is hands down the cutest, most visually appealing cafe that I have been to so far.
My nieces will love it.
All the interior furniture is on theme. There's a giant Pom Pom Puddin' in the middle, and the employees even wore super cute uniforms that were Pom Pom Puddin' themed. So right off the bat, the atmosphere hits all the marks for me. But what about the food? So I decided to order the butter chicken curry, which had the rice shaped like Pom Pom Puddin's head, and it was actually really tasty. It was super flavorful and adorable, and I cleaned up my plate really fast.
Damn, she might as well lick the plate,
I just ordered
bro.
a limited time summer festival plate, which I didn't try, but he finished everything and said it was pretty good.
Bro, Diet is low-key getting the good
drinks
meals,
that came
bro.
with whipped cream and a little chocolate Pom Pom Puddin' at the top. I had a mango lassi, and it was good, but a bit too sweet for my liking. So next time I go, I might just get a regular drink. For dessert, we had to order the custard pudding since, you know, the theme of the character. But I was pretty full at this point, so I could only get a few bites in. It tasted like any other custard flan or pudding that you'd find in Japan, except this one was in a cute round glass with Puddin's face on it. Of course, there was a little merch section in the cafe, and I brought home my own Puddin glass. This is definitely one of my favorite cafes, and I can absolutely see myself coming back, especially since there was absolutely no wait time or reservation required. 5 out of 5.
That's good for me, fam.
The third permanent walk-up cafe I visited was the Shirohige Cream Puff Factory in Setagaya. Unlike the busy, bustling streets of Shinjuku and Harajuku that the other two were at, Shirohige is located in a really peaceful green area right by the station. You might notice the Studio Ghibli memorabilia as you walk in, and that's because this cafe specializes in Totoro-shaped cream puffs. They have different custard flavors depending on the season, like peach and mango, and they also have a selection of other Totoro-themed sweets available for purchase. So the bottom floor is the bakery, but if you go upstairs, you can enjoy a meal in the cafe and order those same Totoro cream puffs to eat in. We ordered 2 cafe au laits, a sausage and salad plate with an assortment of bread, and a toasted pressed sandwich with roast pork, ham, cheddar, pickles, and roasted potatoes. It was so crispy and tasty.
That does look good.
If I had to describe it in a word,
does actually
it would
look so
be
freaking
comfort.
good.
Speaking of which,
take out the cheese
whole
and we're
vibe
good to
of
go.
the cafe was extremely comfy and perfectly fit the Ghibli theme. We of course had to end the meal with a Totoro cream puff, and it was so cute I had trouble cutting into it with my fork. We ordered the regular custard vanilla flavor, and it was pretty good. But as usual, I couldn't finish it. This cafe
every time, bro. What's with her catfish
so
dessert,
I will
bro?
definitely be returning. This cafe gets a 5 out of 5. The last type of cafe I'll be talking about has given me the most stress out of all the others.
There's one thing I am
And that
liking
would
about
be
this. I'll speak about it after the video.
cafes.
It's one thing I love
Unlike
about
other
this.
permanent cafes where
About
you
some of
can
these
just
pri-
stroll
it's about-
up and
it's-
maybe
it's
wait
the
for a
prices
bit,
around.
these ones require a reservation.
Herbie?
And you'd think it'd be easy to get a table at these because they're here year-round, but you'd be wrong. Let's start with the easier one. The Straw Hat Cafe at the Ghibli Museum in Mitaka. Similarly to the
Straw
Sailor Moon
Hats.
Museum Cafe, you don't actually need to book a reservation at the Straw Hat Cafe. You just need to purchase a ticket to the Ghibli Museum so that you can access the cafe. The Ghibli Museum itself is really cool, and I definitely recommend going, especially since tickets are quite cheap, less than $10. Now,
Ooh.
technically, I don't think the Straw Hat Cafe is meant to be a Ghibli-themed cafe, just more like a regular cafe whose whole purpose is to properly feed you while you're in the museum. So don't expect bacon and eggs from Howl's Moving Castle, or ramen from Ponyo, or even rice balls from Spirited Away. The presentation is not what you'd expect from a Studio Ghibli branded cafe, and yes, they serve you the food on parchment paper and paper bowls. However, it actually tasted really, really good. I was genuinely shocked. Based on older Google reviews, it looks like there was a bigger menu and a bigger wait time before COVID, but they've both been reduced
Before
since then.
COVID.
So once tourism kicks back up, you can maybe expect the wait times to be longer again. We ordered the ketchup and chicken rice bowl, which came with half an egg and some Japanese mayo on top, fries that were actually so good and crispy, and a sausage hot dog with the cafe logo pressed into the bun. The sausage had a really nice snap to it, and it tasted delicious. For dessert, I got a cafe au lait, and we shared a strawberry omelet, which was really simple but really good. It was nice, airy, fluffy, and not too sweet. There was also a snack bar next to the cafe where you could get some extra items, so we also got curry balls and an ume soda. The ume soda was refreshing and sweet, and the curry balls were crazy good. Nice and crispy on the outside and steamy and flavorful on the inside. My only complaint was that one order only came with 2 balls.
Dang.
Straw Hat Cafe gets a 4.5 out of 5 for me. Presentation might seem underwhelming, but it really hits a spot after you've spent the day walking around the museum. If you prefer a cafe that leans more into the Ghibli imagery, there's always the Shirohige Cream Puff Factory. Of course, we had to check out the Pokemon Cafe.
Got to.
So this is one of those cafes that are always completely booked pretty much every
Oh,
day.
you have to book a spot?
The earliest you can
I mean,
really
book a
book a
table?
reservation
Dang.
is a month in advance, and they open reservations for the next available day
Dang,
at
that's
6 p.m.
crazy, bro.
Miraculously, we were able to get a spot. All right, let's get straight to the point. The atmosphere is as adorable as you'd expect. There was a table set up to look like 2 Pikachus were eating together.
That's
There was
tight.
a giant chef Pikachu that came out and did a little dance with
That's
the
clean.
customers. It was very, very cute. The food presentation was also super cute. Look at this Pikachu kebab plate I
Hold
ordered.
up.
Look at this Eevee plate that
Eevee.
Dinus ordered. Look at these super cute drinks. Unfortunately, they all look much better than they taste. This is one of those cafes where you're truly paying for the aesthetic and the presentation, because the taste was mediocre.
Dang.
The drinks were way too sweet, and the food wasn't really satisfying. Now, keep in mind, this is probably because this cafe is more geared to kids, so the portion sizes and sweetness levels are pretty different from some of the other cafes
So
we've
they
been
have the
to.
little plates.
And as expected, the items are pretty expensive, but if you're a huge Pokemon fan, then the experience is still worth it, in my opinion. I'm just saying that right after we left the cafe, we had to go eat McDonald's to feel satisfied. Another plus is that it's right next to the Pokemon Center, so after your meal, you can stroll in and take a look at all
Yeah,
the
I'm just going straight
Pokemon
to the
items
Pokemon
you
Center,
can take
bro.
home with you. Like this very cursed Pikachu plush. Overall, I'll have to give the Pokemon Cafe
A 4?
a
Wow.
4 out of 5, simply because it was everything you would want in a themed cafe.
Dang, all the food was
Except
good,
for
bruh.
delicious. The Kirby Cafe at Tokyo Skytree. This cafe was the final boss in my theme cafe journey. This
final
cafe
boss.
opens up reservations on the 10th
Dang,
every
they open
month or
reservations
the month
too?
after. So for example, if you want to get a table in September, you need to camp out on the site on August 10th and wait for the reservation Hunger Games to begin. The site will be laggy due to high traffic. You will need to frantically figure out how to type your government name in katakana, and if you end up missing this reservation period, you will have to wait an entire month before you can try again. I was nervously awaiting the battle on August 10th. I set several alarms reminding me. I watched that loading screen turn round and round as the site struggled to make room for eager
going through all this,
customers.
homie, the food better be good, bro.
I got in, baby. Cafe number 12. Let's go. Kirby Cafe.
It's just Titus.
So, like the Pokemon Cafe, this cafe was adorable inside
bro,
and out. And we got
The
to sit by
food
the
better
big
be
tree
good,
in the middle of the
dog.
restaurant.
If I'm going through all
I
this.
ordered a salmon and avocado bowl, and Ditus ordered a Loco Moco bowl. They were
Moco.
pretty tasty, although to be honest, you could just as easily make them at home. However, we were able to keep the little bowls as souvenirs, which I thought
Oh,
was
sure,
really
you
neat.
can.
We
Bet.
also ordered 2 cafe au laits with little marshmallow Kirby's on top, and they were so cute and so delicious. I also ordered a peach soda, which was admittedly way too sweet for my liking, but it was still fun to drink. And for dessert, we of course had to order the Carby Jello cake. Just look at it. It's so cute and jiggly. I'll be honest, I did not really eat any of it because I was pretty sugared out from my 2 drinks, but Ditus really liked it, so you can take his word for it. In addition to the souvenir bowls, we received some super cute free coasters, and we got this plastic stirring stick that I think was an exclusive if you dined in. Afterwards, we hit up the merch store, and
Yup,
it took me
let's
a
go,
lot of
merch
strength not
store.
to buy everything I saw because they have some seriously cute merchandise. Even if you don't have a reservation at the cafe itself, you can pop in whenever you want to browse the merch. The food is quite expensive, but like I mentioned before, themed cafe food is always expensive, so I can't really judge that aspect. If you're a huge
course.
Kirby fan, it's definitely
Dang,
worth going for like a special
$47,
occasion or
bro.
something. This one gets a 5 out of 5.
I'll take it.
Now let's review. Pop-up walk-up cafe. Pro, easily accessible. Con, typically lower quality and unpredictable wait time. For the pop-up reservation cafe. Pro, better quality and no wait time. Con, can be difficult to get a reservation, especially because of time exclusivity. For the permanent walk-up cafes. Pro, easily accessible, but con, unpredictable wait time. And for the permanent reservation cafes, pro, year-round and no wait time. However, con
It's that
can
reservation,
be difficult
bro.
to get a
I couldn't do
reservation.
it. I couldn't do the
So,
reservation.
are themed cafes worth it? I'd say if you're a big fan of the anime or IP that the cafe is based on, then yes, I do think it's worth going to at least once, especially if you go with a friend who's also a fan. It's even more worth it if you're like me and you really love that gimmicky, cute novelty
Boy, me
stuff.
and my friend-
Just
boy.
keep in mind that what you're mostly paying for is the
We gotta
novelty
go,
of it.
bro.
Even if the
That
food is
plate
pretty
right there,
good,
I'll get
you'll
that
always
plate,
be
bro.
able to find
That's
a
a good
better
burger.
quality version of what you're eating for much cheaper at a different restaurant. But let's be honest, you're not going to a themed cafe because you want high quality omurice. You're going so you can eat omurice that looks like a cute character sleeping in a little egg blanket, and you are so valid for that. So yeah, if you're a fan of something and there's a pop-up collab cafe for a limited time, definitely consider going next time you're in Japan.
Before I leave it, try to let you go.